Welcome to the Year of the Earth Dog, Scorpio. Year of the Yang Earth Dog begins on February 16th of 2018 and lasting through until February 4th of 2019. Dogs are funny animals, great actors, and they easily manipulate their owners, so people who think that they're a dog's master are in for a great realization. People do everything for dogs, so who's really in control, the pet or the person? Animals, especially dogs, are able to perceive angels and are keen sensors of impending geophysical activity. With that said, during this astrological transit, it's going to be good to know what angelic forces are really at play. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 29 to 31, now watch this in the Webster Bible translation, there are three things which go well. Yes, four are comely in going. A lion, which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any. A greyhound, a he-goat also, and a king against whom there is no rising up. Now, primary guardian angels for Yang Earth Dog year are going to be very good to invoke or invoke. To invoke into oneself or invoke into a sacred space or sacred circle, magical circle. Elemental Archangel of Earth, traditionally known as Uriel, will present as guardian elemental Archangel of Earth, traditionally going to be the cosmological progression where we have this Earth portion lasting for this entire transit. Year of the Dog in Chinese astrology associates with the zodiac sign of Libra in Western astrology, and therefore it associates with the elemental archangel of air signs referred to in many ancient Christian and Hebrew traditions as well as in scriptures as being Raphael, zodiac angel of the seasonal attribute of Creator's great clock. We are taught through oral tradition and Kabbalistic writings that astrology archangel or zodiac angel Zuriel is our correspondence for Libra. Libra is associated with the Hebrew month of Tishri. And on a bigger clock, we have the months also appearing as great, larger seasons. And so we have the year of the dog in Chinese astrology associated with Tishri, the Hebrew month of Tishri, and also the Western astrology sign of Libra. And there's a little bit of overlap when you get into the Western astrology, with a tiny bit into Scorpio, which we'll get into a little bit later. But basically, Tishri and the year of the dog are going to match up. And also, again, Libra is the primary association in Western astrology. Now, we have the number 7, which means that in a natural chart where Aries is the first house association, we have the 7th house association of Libra the scales, we balance being the divine tone, and we have the qualities of commitment and legalities showing in this time for the 7th house attributes. And remember, we have the zodiac angel that will be for the elemental signs for air, because Libra is associated with the year of the dog. So that's going to be Archangel Raphael. It's going to have a lot of sort of influence is probably a good word to use. And we're going to utilize the Archangel of Earth, Uriel, during this time because it's the Earth. And, during this time also you want to remember that while Zuriel is really going to be around, that's the zodiac angel of Libra, you're going to have, it's a Yang Earth Dog year. So during a Yang Earth Dog year, what you have is you have a masculine presentation of angelic beings and angelic forces because Yang is associated with male and Yin associated with female. This is a Yang Earth Dog year. So that's how this is going to kind of present with the attributes. Now, Zohar is what we recommend as a primary source of written Kabbalistic knowledge. These angels and archangels present in a more masculine form due to the Yang elemental association of Yang Earth Dog year. Now, some of us have Archangel Gabriel representing as a female angel because often Gabriel represents as a female angel, but during Yang Earth Dog year, Gabriel is going to be masculine in the presentation, and so all the other angelic beings are going to present in a much more masculine fashion, okay? So it's a male Earth Dog year. Secondary guardian angels for Yang Earth Dog year. Elemental Archangel Uriel. Earth Angel, an effect of Earth element. Earth element for entire Earth Dog year. Elemental Archangel Raphael, an effect of air element for especially first portion of Yang Earth Dog transit due to autumnal seasonal associations with first part of 9th lunar month attributes in Chinese astrology associated with zodiac sign of Libra in first half of year being cardinal air corresponding to zodiac angel Zuriel, elemental archangel Gabriel, in effect of water element for particularly second portion of Yang Earth Dog transit due to autumnal seasonal second half of 9th lunar month qualities in Chinese astrology is associated with zodiac sign of Scorpio, which we mentioned because the slight overlap in the Western astrology in the latter portion of this transit. So a slight portion of it will be influenced by Scorpio in the second half of the year being fixed water, corresponding with the zodiac angel Barchiel for Scorpio and Zuriel for Libra. Zuriel for Libra is going to be the main association for your Western astrology. Now, awareness of Western and Eastern calendar associations is helpful because many of these angels have their presentation in the East and the West as well. So one does not negate the other. It's simply that basically, these are all the same sciences. People use their own language and their own culture to express it. So that's why we can find where these associations can be made. Earth and celestial coordinates are important because when you're dealing with the Earth coordinates up above, you're dealing with celestial coordinates. You're going to have a different positioning of these elemental archangels that correspond with the fixed signs of the zodiac, being the Archangel Michael for fire, and the Archangel Uriel for earth, and the Archangel Raphael for the air, and Gabriel for water. Gabriel is represented by the fixed water, which is Scorpio. Michael is representative of fixed fire, which is Leo. And we have the Raphael being representative of air, which would be Aquarius, fixed air. And, of course, we have Taurus as fixed earth for Uriel. So this is how it's, but they're positioned in different locations. Celestial coordinates and earth coordinates are going to be different. Okay? So we're going to run those through for you now. And we're also going to get into, stay tuned, because we're going to get into the associations between Feng Shui, the traditional Feng Shui, the Bagua, which is really the square of Saturn. And we're going to talk about, now that we're in the age of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn and Uranus, you can use the Bagua, the people use the Feng Shui, which is associated with the square of Saturn, in Western hermetical magical arts, but since it's a very restrictive energy, although it's a wonderful energy, very secure, but it can be restrictive and Uranus can be extreme. So what you want to do is maybe bring in some of those Jupiterian aspects, like the square of Jupiter or the square of Sol. You want to bring in something more merciful. Now, during the Piscean age, which is ruled by Jupiter, which was merciful, you needed that severity and that structure of the Saturnine or Saturnian or Saturnine influence of the square of Saturn, Bagua. However, now when you're in the age of Aquarius, you're going to want to bring again those merciful energies of the square of Jupiter or the square of Sol, that kind of thing. Okay? So we'll just run through some of these now. Again, Earth and celestial coordinates. I call it the new Feng Shui that I've developed and popularized. I like to say that it's messianic Feng Shui. That's how I characterize it. Now, when second half of Earth Dog year approaches, one must become more mindful of angelic Earth and celestial coordinates. Attributes are as follows. Earth coordinates of elemental guardian angels. North elemental archangel of Earth, Uriel, is in the position of north in the earth coordinates. East elemental archangel of air, Raphael, is the east elemental archangel of air for earth coordinates, Raphael. Now for south elemental archangel of fire, we have Michael or Michael. He is the mighty archangel who is in the south on Earth coordinates. That's the hot, dry winds of the south. And then for the west elemental archangel of water, Gabriel, the cold, wet winds of the west, and the earth coordinates is Gabriel. Now, celestial coordinates of elemental guardian angels. For the celestial coordinates, we have for north elemental archangel of water. Again, for celestial coordinates, you have Gabriel in the north for water. You have for east elemental archangel of fire. We have east elemental archangel of fire for celestial coordinates. Again, Michael or Michael. You have south elemental archangel of earth, which is going to be Uriel in your celestial coordinates. Okay, you have the south elemental archangel of earth, Uriel, archangel Uriel for celestial coordinates in the south, and the west elemental archangel of air, Raphael, in the west for celestial coordinates, and that's for air. Again, in the west for celestial coordinates. So you see there's a slight difference in the positioning of these beings. Now, this is a time we have it's the year of the dog, so you're going to want to bring in the energies of the Egyptian god Anubis, the jackal-headed god who's the protector of Osiris. And you also want to know that this is going to be associated with the dog star, or the Sirius star system. Sirius A, B, and Sirius A, B, and C, some say, but it's basically a time when the beautiful energies of the star system of Sirius are going to come through. Okay? Now, encourage calm associations between northwest and southeast compass directions during Yang Earth Dog Year, that's going to begin on February 16th of 2018 and ending on February 4th of 2019. Again, that's encourage calm, relaxed, tranquil associations and relationships between the northwest direction and the southeast compass directions. Okay? Okay, now astrology lucky charms for this sign during the year of Yang Earth Dog are as follows. For your sign, for Scorpio, the lucky charms are Citrine, little bracelet of Citrine here. So we have Citrine, and that's for the association for Scorpio gemstone. For the colors for Scorpio, you want to use red, yellow, orange, blue, and green. And for the numbers 5, 6, and 8. Now for the Earth Dog lucky charms, you want to use a gemstone of diamond. And you want to use the colors green, red, and purple. The numbers 3, 4, and 9 for your Earth Dog lucky charms. Now the number combination specifics 1, 6, and 7 are not recommended during a dog year. Color combination specifics use green, red, or purple diamonds in a dog year. Scorpio personality during a dog year brings out qualities of being possessed of concerns about making everyone cared for, making sure everyone is properly cared for. During a dog year, there is a requirement for the Scorpion to make sure caring for oneself is top priority, since wolf pack or dog pack hierarchies might interfere with opinions of self-importance. Now, wolves and dogs are social creatures, as are humans, so one must be careful not to isolate oneself from community circles, family gatherings, or social groups. Whom would be a person considered best at providing high-end necessities is deemed important, including considerations about keeping associates financially capable and able to purchase life's experiential plenty. Politics will reflect rambunctious behavior in the candidates who demonstrate how they plan to provide for Scorpio will be popular with the Scorpion. Scorpio will concentrate on who has capability to do what must be done to secure present and future life as well as legacy. Happiness is also important while maintaining stability of family concurrently during a dog year. Yang Earth Dog Year will inspire Scorpio personality during the first half of this transit, as we mentioned. So again, this is going to be, the Scorpio personality is going to be really kind of activated, and that's going to be seen during this portion of the year where we have the first half inspired romantically by the Libra associations, while the passions of love will enliven Scorpio heart throughout second portion of astrological progression. So as you see, we have a situation here where we have Libra being the main focus, and that will inspire the romance and the romantic side of the personality and love. But it'll get more intense as the 8th house Scorpio considerations come into play in the latter portion of this transitive year of the dog, because we mentioned in Western astrology there's a little bit of an overlap. So that's why we put the Hebrew months here, so you could see where the, how it kind of goes from the east to the Middle East to the west. So you can see how that, one that is not overlapping so much. So now year of the dog represents every 12 years, while year of the earth dog repeats every 60 years. Earth dog year is formed from the attributes of being the 5th heavenly stem of yang gotten from 10 celestial qualities, and the 11th earthly branch gotten from 12 terrestrial animal personalities. Okay, now we want to talk about these stems and branches, and we want to talk about how it's important to note here that the 10 heavenly or celestial stems are derived from the 5 elements in Chinese astrology, which are fire, metal, wood, earth, and water. Now, in Western Hermetical, it's basically based on alchemy, but we have 5 in the Chinese system where air is represented by metal and wood, and we have 4 in the Western system, of course, where air is kind of maybe a broader portion of mentioning metal and wood. So again, in the Chinese astrology, we have fire, metal, and wood, and we have earth and water. And the 10 qualities are comprised of the characteristics of yin and yang divisions, which are assigned elemental attribute, with this current year of the earth dog being a yang earth dog year. Therefore, there are 10 aspects gotten from yin and yang characteristics of the 5 Chinese elements. Now, dog loves other dog personalities, tiger and horse. Dog really likes pig, rabbit, and goat. Dog kind of likes snake, rooster, ox, and monkey, and rat. Dog dislikes dragon. Scorpio is fixed water, and Scorpio is going to be influenced by the yang qualities of the year of the yang earth dog, and it will increase your active and energetic qualities, giving you extra vivacity during this transit, especially when general and cooler dog qualities of autumn are taken into account. Dog year increases one's knowledge of position in the pack, so you would do well with finding your comfortable and best place in family, friendship, romance, and society at large. And remember, those very visceral 8th house attributes will kind of kick in the latter portion of the dog year, because remember the main association, Libra, 7th house, natural 7th house, and we have the divine tone of rebalance, and we have the scales, and we have commitment and legalities, and then we go into the 8th house a little bit as it overlaps in the second portion of the transit. It's not the main association, but since you are Scorpio and that is your house, Scorpio, in a natural chart, you're going to feel those 8th house month of Cheshvan really come into play. The Hebrew month of Cheshvan, that's really going to come into play. So what you want to do is understand that the qualities of birth and sex and debt and death and all these kinds of things, these very visceral things, are going to come into more importance to you in that second part, and that's because you're also that's the house the Scorpio's associated with in a natural chart, in the generalities of it. So just keep that in mind. Now, Scorpio the Scorpion year of the dog lesson: avoid overly exuberant animal persons or human persons who consider themselves life of the party, or people attempting to impress you for the purpose of taking advantage of your well-lived and carefully planned life. Enjoy what you have and be happy in your own style, keeping in mind social hierarchies and who is top dog during Earth Dog year. Scorpio, the Scorpion year of the dog, blessing. Expect more compassion to go with all of the friends you have made, since Scorpio is a creative and social being, because I create is the divine tone of Scorpio in the natural 8th house. Now, cooperation between people and groups considered at opposite ends of the spectrum from each other find new alliances, for this is the year when opposites attract. Personal and business relationships will be much improved, and fresh understanding between differing groups of religious or political ideologies will improve as well. Dog is energetic, therefore this is an eventful cosmological transit. All creatures find themselves in the right place, and they find their proper place in Creator's great universal kingdom, because as it turns out, there's enough cornucopia of opulence for everyone in Yang Earth Dog year. Earth Dog attributes occasion to really anchor oneself in relationships, careers, and positions deemed important to the individual by her or himself. Top dogs become concerned with improving living and working conditions of underdogs. Those neglected or abused are cared for. Study and creative endeavors are great undertakings. Earth Dog advice: people love your friendly and down-to-earth personality. Nevertheless, be mindful of the other's personal boundaries. Earth Dog influence: well aware of status and position while simultaneously mindful of common goals and unified needs between all creatures. Who eats first is a concern. However, everyone being able to eat enough for good health is a must. With that said, there is no need to rush, because dog eats fast, but earth element calms him down to digest properly. Yang masculine qualities are going to include day and hot and fire, dry, summer, outer, energetic, expanding, spirit, and dorsal or the back. Earth is about worry and melancholy, cold, damp, sweet mouth. General fixed dog associations of autumn are going to include a portion of the middle and the social and earth, yang, and again, the main association is the 7th house, Libra. There are 5 elements in Chinese astrology. Again, we're going to mention these being fire, metal, wood, earth, and water. And we want to mention the wonderful circle of life, because it's very important to keep one in a balanced frame of mind, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. So remember, fire controls metal. Metal controls wood. Wood controls earth. Earth controls water. Water controls fire. This is the circle of life. As we come full circle and we attempt to balance these 5 elements and use them for our great health. Remember that fire brings great joy. It's heat, it's bitter, and it's the tongue. Earth brings worry and damp, sweet, and is the mouth. Metal brings grief and dry, pungent, the nose. Water brings fear, cold, salty, ears. Wood brings anger, wind, sour, the eyes. To calculate the Chinese New Year, simply count the second new moon that comes after the winter solstice. A disclaimer is in order here. High magic can be dangerous. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Information found in this document is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I have committed to memory. Thank you for joining us, and please join us again.